Hi everyone, welcome to Maintenance Diaries. So for this week, I am going to just focus on some of the foods that I typically eat in a week, and then towards the end of the week, I will of course give my reflection on how everything went, how my energy levels, my weigh-in, and etc. So let's go ahead and just dive into what I ate this week. Okay, so it is February the 8th, around 9:22. So we actually are getting a late start on eating. Don't know what's going on, but a late start. So what I am going to do, I notice around like 7:45, I started feeling hungry. So that's a good thing. So even though I'm not using my scale, I still will use my measuring cup. Yeah. Tell you the truth. And just from me having these measurements for the entire year, I know that this is going to be within my calorie range. And I usually only do this with the rice and vegetables with the measuring cup. Let's see. So typically when we eat any type of chicken, it is if it's legs, I know I can have 2. If it is wings, I know I can have 3. Oh no, that didn't come out. That didn't cut right. Look like my son decided to do cornbread, so I'm just gonna get a little small piece of that. And this is gonna be my dinner for tonight. Yeah. Let's take this show on the road. Good morning, everyone. So it is Tuesday, and so I just wanted to give like a little snapshot of what I am eating today for breakfast. So this is actually just 2 waffles and of course some syrup and 2 slices of turkey bacon. Yeah. So I got up this morning, took my medicine because I have to take this pill 30 minutes before I eat, even though I'm eating a little bit later than typical. But yeah, this is what I decided to have this morning. Okay, so it is roughly 4:20 something, and so we are going to have tacos. So typically what I do is buy the taco shells that we get, I used to get like 4 taco shells, and then I just put some ground turkey meat, roughly about that much, in the shell. Sometimes I do a little less. But that's roughly what I do for protein for these tacos. Yep. And it looks like we didn't get any tomatoes. So I just sprinkle a little bit of lettuce. Can't go wrong with lettuce at all. And then we are using this cheese Mexican style blend, 4 style. And I just sprinkle. Because typically what happens is sometimes these shells crumble up and I end up eating it like a bowl, so to speak. And then with the salsa, usually do this thick and chunky salsa, mild, and sprinkle some on there. Not a whole lot. And that is what I am having for a late lunch. I don't know, this may end up turning into dinner. We'll see. But yeah, that is it. Okay, so today is Wednesday around 8:34, and so this is what I am having for dinner. I am having baked chicken quarters and a baked potato. Well, not baked potato, but a potato that was baked, boiled in the with the meat. And then of course, get my rice. We love rice. So I'm getting my rice. Come on. Then I think I'm gonna get these string beans and put over my rice. I was debating them whether I want to get some of these bell peppers, but no, I opt out of that tonight. Okay. Let me move this over. Oh Lord. Okay. So Look like my son decided to do mac and cheese tonight, so he must be wanting this. So I'm just gonna get me this, about that much of that. Not too much. And then I'm just gonna get me a small piece of cornbread. Yes, so that is what I will be eating for dinner tonight. All right, so you were able to just basically get some type of idea on the different types of foods that I eat throughout the week. So, of course, this is the week prior to, prior to my shot. So I will be taking my injection next Friday, the 20th. Yeah. So what's going on? So actually this week I felt, you know, a little bit low energy, but I think that has to do with, I don't know, I'm taking a new BC pill, and ever since I started taking that pill, I noticed that I was a little sleepy this week, so, and a little nausea. So I'm looking out for that just to make sure, but that is basically what went down for me this week. As far as my appetite has been extremely good. I'm still feeling content, still being able to maintain, you know, the foods, my calorie intake, not really having so much issues getting in my food. So I guess I would have to say, how did this first actual full week go without tracking the calories? It actually went relatively good. Like I mentioned in my last video, the only thing was I, you know, reached for my phone because that was just by nature, by habit. But other than that, everything went relatively good, you know. So there are no complaints on that. And as far as my weigh-in, so I definitely want to, I always give an update on my PCAL chart, so that way, you know, we'll know how everything is going with that, so that way as I do my weigh-in, we'll have some answers. But before I dive into all of that, just for anyone who is new, I have been on Zepbound 5 milligrams roughly since April. And sometime around October, I started taking my shot every 28 days. My doctor wanted to reassess me at 160 pounds. I finally was able to get to that 160 pounds, and so that is why I am in maintenance. I am in maintenance trying to maintain my weight under the 160. Of course, I would love to get to 140, but as you know, it may happen, may not happen, but the goal is I need to stay under 160, because if I go over the 160, that's pushing me closer back to where I was probably when I started this journey. So yes, so oh, I don't have my phone, but I know that with the PCAL, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going off of memory, Wednesday of this week, I want to say I took a laxative because I had hit the 3 days of not going to the restroom. And per my doctor, if I hit 3 days, I need to take a laxative. And so I did. So with that being said, for this week, that is I only logged one time this week. So let's jump right into my weigh-in. So as you can see on my weigh-in for this week, I went up, I think it was 0.7, and that doesn't faze me because I'm under the 160, and that is my purpose, is to stay under 160. So I'm still maintaining the weight. And also, if you're not familiar, I usually don't look at a 0.7, 0.2, whatever the increase may be for that week, when I have the situations where I really don't go to the restroom. I just don't look at that. But needless to say, I was able to maintain under the 160. So what I must say is, with me not using the scale for a full week, I did not go into my Maintenance Diary to kind of get like an idea of what this may weigh in, etc. I didn't do none of that foolishness. I just fixed my food, went off of memory of how I usually fix my food, and kept it moving. And so it seemed to work. Yeah, so that is basically it for this update. I was able to maintain. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, share, and comment, and turn your notification bells on if you haven't already done that, so that way you'll know the next video that's scheduled to come out. Should I continue to track